Hello there, my name is Morgan, and together with the team at Decentology, we'll be guiding you towards becoming a decentralized application developer during the next 3 weeks of Fast Floward. Let's go. Get comfy, and let's discuss what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. When exploring something new, it's important to limit oneself in terms of scope. There's only so much time and an infinite amount of material. So we'll focus on things that lead towards shipping decentralized applications or dApps the fastest. To build any app, one of the first decisions is to choose a platform you'll build on. Same with dApps. We've made this decision for you, and our platform of choice is Flow and Cadence. I'll explain why we think this is a good decision to get started. So Flow. It's a blockchain that's efficient, fast, reliable, and it supports smart contracts. It is designed by developers for developers with tons of tools and resources made available. You can go from zero to executing your first contract in a few minutes without having to spend time to correctly set up your environment. Flow has an innovative architecture, and you can learn more about that by going to onflow.org. For the purposes of our bootcamp, we only need to understand how to communicate with the Flow blockchain and execute smart contracts. And as such, we won't dig deeper into how the blockchain works. Let's get started by setting up our environment. Flow has a command line utility that enables us to interact with the blockchain. I'll show you how to do it both on Windows and Linux/Mac OS, starting with Linux/Mac OS. Let's fire up the terminal. I'm using Ubuntu and the built-in terminal. Make sure everything works and download from this URL that's provided on flow.org. After installing, make sure to include this into our path. I'm using Vim and Bash, so I'm just going to load up Bash RC and tack that on to the end of my path. Like so. Let's just save this file and reload the configuration so that this is available to us. After, we should have access to Flow version, and the version I'm running is version 0.26. Now we're going to repeat the same sequence and install Flow CLI on a Windows machine. Again, we're following the documentation on flow.org, just making sure that PowerShell is available. We launch that and we copy the command to install Flow CLI. Once it completes, we can check that the version is correct by running Flow version. It should say 0.26. Now that we have our Flow CLI ready to go, I'm going to switch back to my Ubuntu machine and test out some Cadence. Let's fire up the Cadence interpreter using the Flow Cadence command that launches us into a REPL environment, a REPL shell. And let's just log hello world into our console using the log function. Here we go. One final thing when setting up your environment. I'm going to be using VS Code as my code editor, and the team at Flow have created an extension for it that enables syntax highlighting, type checking, and much more. To install it locally, run this command, and you'll gain access to all the nice Cadence features that extension provides. This concludes part one, where we discussed our objectives and we got an intro to Flow, the blockchain. Now we move on to part two, where we discuss Cadence, the Flow programming language that we'll use to write our decentralized applications. See you there.